Welcome back. Democrats are in a tailspin over the Trump administration's proposal to eliminate the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It was established after the 2008 financial crisis to safeguard the United States against unfair business practices. President Trump putting OMB Director Russ Vought in charge for now, who has since issued a stop work order as they work to overhaul the agency. Joining me now is Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Congressman, it's great to see you this morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, Maria. Good to be with you.
That's where I want to start. You're set to introduce a bill this week to entirely eliminate this agency. Tell us why.
Well, first of all, the CFPB has been an albatross of an agency. It's been unaccountable to Congress. It gets its funding directly from the Federal Reserve. Most people don't know that. It basically shows up with a letter asking the Federal Reserve for hundreds of millions of dollars just so it can operate. And it really is this leviathan of an agency that just goes from company to company without really any enforceability by law. They put out these letters, these memorandum to force corporate action when they don't even go through the Administrative Procedures Act and the Process Act. This is a thing created by Elizabeth Warren. They put it in Dodd-Frank during the Obama administration. It was passed on a party line vote. And before the CFPB, each federal agency dealt with consumer protections. The Democrats' idea was to put it into one agency that operates outside of Congress, really outside of even the purview of the executive branch. And so it's time for that agency to be shut down completely, brought to a close. So my bill would end the CFPB.
So how much do these agencies cost taxpayers when they're actually doing more harm than good with all these rules and regulations, stopping companies from having progress? I assume there are other agencies in addition to CFPB that have the same situation where maybe there is room to merge these agencies into the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Well, I will tell you that regulatory overhaul, and I mean from the federal government, is something that is long overdue. There are many agencies whose missions actually need to be reformed for what our current economy does today and for the future, not for what it's been in the past. But the reason in particular that the CFPB is especially problematic is because it really operates outside of the purview of even Congress. Sure, the administrator of the CFPB has to come in and testify before Congress, but we all know those hearings, a lot of times the director is basically trying to run out the clock when it comes to meaningful oversight. Under the Biden administration, Mr. Chopra barely answered congressional inquiries about what they were doing and why. But when they would put out publications, memos, letters, it would basically have the force of law on companies before they actually went through the full administrative process. You cannot have an agency operating like that, a rogue agency like this. So in my view, it's more than time for it to be shut down completely. And I'm glad that the president issued a stop work order on the CFPB because everything they've been doing needs to go under strict review.
But, I mean, you could understand how some people are unnerved by Elon Musk. I mean, the White House advisor, Musk, is asking a majority of federal workers to outline 5 weekly accomplishments and send them back in an email by midnight tonight. Musk said on X, the reason this matters is that a significant number of people who are supposed to be working for the government are doing so little work that they're not even checking their email at all. In some cases, we believe non-existent people or the identities of dead people are being used to collect paychecks. In other words, there's outright fraud. Some agencies, however, like the FBI, the Pentagon, and the intelligence agencies, have told their employees to hold off on sending responses, Congressman. They're going to do it.
Look, what I think is that Elon Musk is correct in this. You have to get an accounting of what people are actually doing week in, week out. That's how it operates in the private sector. You have to have strict responsibility to your higher ups about what you're actually doing, how you're performing. The fact that you have federal employees and Democrats who are pushing back saying this is outrageous is ridiculous. It is the absolute right thing to do. There has to be accountability when it comes to federal workers. And to a broader point, for the Democrats who were upset that President Trump essentially has a special envoy examining the federal bureaucracy, that's a good thing because the executive branch has had special envoys all the time. Nobody on the Democrat side of the aisle was upset when John Kerry was the special envoy going to Europe and every other
great
place in the
point.
country trying to put together climate deals. They weren't upset about that, but now they're upset that Elon Musk is the special envoy to the United States about examining the waste and inefficiency in the federal government. It is long past due that this has occurred. The reason why Democrats are squealing is because now the target are their pet projects and their pet agencies that operate, frankly, regardless of politics in America, regardless of congressional intent.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to be watching that one. Congressman, last week, President Trump endorsed you to become Florida's 2026 gubernatorial race. He called you a total winner on Truth Social, writing this: Byron Donalds would be truly great and powerful governor for Florida. And should he decide to run, will have my complete and total endorsement. Run, Byron, run. Wow, Congressman, what an endorsement from President Trump. Are you officially in this race?
Well, we're working right now to figure out when we're going to make a formal announcement. Haven't gotten there yet, Maria, but I do want to thank the president for his support and his endorsement. I said at CPAC the other day, I wouldn't let him down. And if I choose to get into this race, I will not let the people of Florida down. But we have a lot of work to do. And in the meantime, before we even get to the gubernatorial race, we still have to get the president's agenda done on Capitol Hill. And I talked with Speaker Johnson the other day. He has my full attention to make sure we get that done.
Well, you've got lots of people in the membership who are saying, you know, look, there's not enough spending cuts. There's not enough offsets. You've got the Freedom Caucus wanting less spending. And then you've got others from high tax states who want a raise in the SALT deduction. So how are you going to square this circle and get all the votes you need to pass a reconciliation plan?
Well, I think we're going to be able to get there. It's not that we have competing interests, it's that there are members who want certain things. At the end of the day, the budget reconciliation process is going to be centered around how much money we are going to cut and reform in mandatory spending. We are spending $7 trillion a year, but we only take in $5 trillion in taxes. We have to get this under control. And the reason why this is critical is because if we don't do this right, the bond market is only going to charge us more for every treasury bond we put out in the future. And that will crowd out private investment. It will raise interest rates on working families and on small businesses going into the future, regardless of the action that the Federal Reserve takes on short-term rates. So it is critical that we get the fiscal house of the nation under control. This budget reconciliation process gives us the ability to do that. And I will add, whether our colleagues are in marginal districts or ruby red districts, cutting back the waste and growth of the federal government, especially since COVID-19, will put America on a smooth fiscal trajectory. Every Republican and Democrat in our country, forget Capitol Hill, will see successes out of a trimmed down federal government. So I think the votes are there. We just got to put together the details, and we're going to do that work over the next couple of months.
Well, it's pretty incredible to me that, you know, you've got the unity that we're seeing finally within the GOP. Are you expecting that you will have a bill on the president's desk before March 14th?
Well, that's for spending. And I think that for the discretionary spending aspects of the federal government, I think we're going to have that situation done by March 14, and we'll go ahead and keep the government moving. In terms of budget reconciliation, my crystal ball, I would say, well, we might be done by June or July, but that'll be plenty time for a reauthorization of the Trump tax cuts and then some of the new proposals that President Trump campaigned on and won on, like no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, 100% expensing for small businesses, et cetera. The ECCA when it comes to education tax credits for families in our country. I think all those things get in as well. It'll probably be around June when we get all that done because we're going to have to figure out how we're going to change the federal spending slope when it comes to mandatory. But I'll stress to you, Maria, again, you get mandatory spending done, it unlocks so many other things. And I know the Democrats will just scream to the hilt saying, oh, you're cutting spending, you're cutting spending. But America, we need to be serious. We are spending vastly more money than we were before the COVID-19 pandemic. And a lot of this spending was because of COVID-19 that the Democrats just kept in place irresponsibly. COVID is over. We have to get back to pre-COVID spending trajectories. We can do that this year while still maintaining the benefits for people who are, children, people who are disabled, parents who are single with multiple kids, who live below a certain level of income in this country, stuff that these programs were designed for. They've been massively expanded because of COVID. It's time to bring them back into shape for their original intent.
Yeah, I mean, I have the numbers in front of me. I was just looking for my notes from the Committee for a Responsible Budget. 76% of all of the spending is mandatory spending. But I'm just wondering if under that title of mandatory is really not all the mandatory. I mean, it's not just Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. What else is hidden in there that actually you could eliminate?
Oh, I'll give you one good example. The IRA tax credits, the Green New Deal tax credits, that's mandatory spending, Maria. All that needs to go. Look, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the Democrats used inflation as an excuse to push the Green New Deal. They threw out, basically, according to the street, about more than $1 trillion worth of these Green New Deal tax credits for energy stock that is not consistent baseload power for the United States.
Yep.
So in my view, we need to completely eliminate those tax credits, and that'll give us a good chunk of money towards the actual pro-growth things that the United States needs. Those tax credits are valued anywhere between $500 billion to $1 trillion. We should eliminate that. We should not be leveraging the fiscal health of this country based upon tax credits for venture funds and private equity funds chasing the Green New Deal scam. That is financially outrageous. That is mandatory spending. We could reform it.
Before you go, Congressman, let me take you back to your home state and what you can identify in Florida that you think you could really make a difference in as governor.
Oh, well, number one issue in our state is insurance, Maria. Insurance and, of course, housing affordability. The great thing about our state is that we've had great leadership over the years. Governor DeSantis has been tremendous. Governor Scott before him was tremendous. People choose Florida year after year after year. And so as kind of a byproduct, our housing market becomes more expensive. But insurance, we have to dig in and address that. And frankly, everybody around this situation is going to have to give a little. We're going to have to make sure that carriers are responding to the claims of our citizens promptly. And we got to do everything we can to try to maintain some stability when it comes to insurance premiums. It's a tough problem that we're going to have to get into. But if we can solve that one, it will be to the betterment of the people of Florida.
All right, we will leave it there. Congressman, we'll be watching your journey. And of course, once again, congrats on President Trump endorsing you for governor of Florida. Good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congressman Byron Donalds. Stay with us. We'll be right back.